This is At the Public Library, the video source for news and information about the San Francisco Public Library system. We're kicking off the summer with features on special activities in book arts, summer reading fun for all ages, and a Gay Pride Month video series. All this and more coming up on At the Public Library.
Hey kids, have fun this summer reading books and earning prizes at the San Francisco Public Library. Children 13 years and younger can sign up for the Children's Summer Reading Club, Thrills and Chills at the Library, at any neighborhood branch library, June 5th through August 7th. Sponsored by the Friends and Foundation of the San Francisco Public Library, the Summer Reading Club is sure to be loads of fun with lots of great books, entertainment, and fantastic prizes. Here's how the program works. After signing up, kids check out any books they want. When they're finished reading or having books read to them if they don't read yet, they come back to the library and record the time they've spent reading. Prizes will be awarded for every 2 hours spent reading, and after 8 hours, readers get to choose from some great grand prizes, including 2 entries to the California Academy of Sciences, 2 admissions to the San Francisco Zoo, 2 tickets to a Giants baseball game, or a great brand new paperback book, and much more. Throughout the 8 weeks of the Summer Reading Club, the branches and the main library will host a variety of fun and entertaining programs with clowns, singers, dancers, storytellers, and magicians. So join the fun and sign up for Thrills and Chills at the library this summer at the San Francisco Public Library. Many neighborhood branches are hosting Children's Summer Reading Kickoff celebrations. Sign up for the Summer Reading Club and join the fun as Young Audiences presents Rhythm Mix at 2 p.m. on Saturday, June 5th in the Corrett Auditorium at the main library. On Monday, June 7th, San Francisco Giants catcher Brent Mayne will read stories at 12:30 p.m. in the Story Room at the main library Children's Center. And on Tuesday, the main Children's Room and World Arts West will present a program of Hawaiian dance from the San Francisco Ethnic Dance Festival. Starko the Magician will present a magic show at a special summer reading program on Saturday, June 5th, 12:30 p.m. at the Visitation Valley Branch Library. Also on Saturday, June 5th, the Potrero Branch will celebrate the Summer Reading Club with a presentation of Dances of India, performed by Swetha Dixit at 4 p.m. Kick off summer reading at the Bernal Heights Branch Library with Magic Dan at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, June 9th. Boswick Turnstile will clown around for summer reading at the Excelsior Branch Library on Thursday, June 10th at 2 p.m. On Saturday, June 12th at 2 p.m., the Ingleside Branch will present a summer reading program with magician Tim the Enchanter. Sign up for the Summer Reading Club and enjoy the music of Chris Mola at the Glen Park Branch on Saturday, June 19th at 2 p.m. And the Sunset Branch will blast off the Summer Reading Club on Wednesday, June 30th with ventriloquist Steve Cheney at 7 p.m. There's children's summer reading programs taking place throughout the summer at the San Francisco Public Library. Call or stop by your neighborhood branch library for more information. Or check out the children's program schedule in the printed version of At the Public Library, published monthly by the Friends and Foundation of the San Francisco Public Library and available at all San Francisco public libraries.
Hi, this is Mark Hall out at Mission Branch, and I'm here to give you some summer reading tips, summer reading ideas. At the beginning of the summer, I usually pull out some old favorites and try to reread them in order to give tips to kids coming in for our summer reading program. And they're always looking for a good book to read, and these are just a few books that I really like. John Christopher, When the Tripods Came. This is a prequel to a trilogy about aliens invading the Earth. In the trilogy, the aliens have already invaded the Earth, and they are. It takes 3 books for them to get the Earth back from the aliens. This is what they look like. They come in these tripods, and the aliens, like most aliens, don't like our atmosphere, so they have to stay in these tripods. And in the trilogy, this tells you how they got here and how they managed to take over the Earth. And the way they did that is when they first landed, they crashed near this farmhouse, and they took in a human, a farmer, and they dissected him. You don't find this out till later. But their ships then they sort of implode, and people think that the invasion threat is over, but it's not, because they have looked inside a human brain and learned how our brains work. And with that knowledge, they managed to start sending a transmission over the televisions and take over everybody's mind through a really sort of dippy television show that everybody loves to watch. So it's also kind of a good poke at television and watching too much television. And it's great science fiction. I like the combination of horror and humor. I think it's a great combination. And this book, 7 Spiders Spinning, by Gregory Maguire, he also wrote 6 Haunted Hairdos. So he does sort of this funny, he does really funny books. And this one is about 7 Siberian snow spiders that were found in some ice from the Ice Age. They had been born, but they were immediately frozen because the Ice Age started that day, actually, it says. It happened that fast. And they're discovered, and they're on their way to a lab to be dissected or whatever, to be studied at Harvard, and they fall off of the truck that they're on, and the ice starts to melt, and there's 7 girls around a campfire, and they're attracted to the warmth of it. The ice melts, and the 7 spiders imprint on each of the 7 girls, like any young animal, or a lot of young animals imprint on their mothers. So they fall in love with these girls and follow them around. And by the way, they're also poisonous. So, and by the way, they also start to get very angry at some point, I think, because one of their sisters is kidnapped. One of the spiders is kidnapped. They're very smart too. And so so once the spiders start getting mad, it gets really funny. It's kind of scary and funny. And it takes place around Halloween. There's a Halloween pageant. So you can imagine how that might work into that. I'm also working on a Hispanic Latino interest list with several other librarians to hand out, and this is one of the books that I was reading for that, Golden Tales, Myths, Legends, and Folktales from Latin America. It takes a lot of traditional tales from the Indian tradition and Hispanic tradition and retells them, and it has great, really beautiful, a lot of really beautiful illustrations. It's very nicely illustrated. So those are some children's books. I am a children's librarian, but I also do read adult fiction, and I love travel fiction. This is one that I'm just starting, The Lost Continent by Bill Bryson, Travels in Small Town America. I just finished one by him called Neither Here Nor There, and it's his tongue-in-cheek travels through Europe. He takes very mundane things about traveling, trains and checking into hotels and the people he meets in shops, and he exaggerates and embellishes, and he doesn't try at all to be deep or tell you about the history or anything, but he just has a lot of fun. And he leaves you laughing out loud. I spent a lot of time on BART trips laughing out loud and getting lots of strange looks from people, wondering if I was crazy or something. So The Lost Continent is the next one that I'm reading by him. Also, I'm going to be going to Spain this summer, and so I'm reading lots of travel books, travel guides, history. And The Buried Mirror is another thing I'm reading by Carlos Fuentes, and he writes very erudite histories, and this is a history of the relationship between Spain and Hispanic America, and he has several chapters he sort of interweaves everything about Spain, the art, the politics, the literature, everything. So it's really good, good history, and it's really good background. So if you're doing any traveling, you might want to read something like this or some sort of travel history. So those are just a few ideas. If you ask any librarian, they'll be able to give you lots more tips. So have fun reading this summer.
The San Francisco Public Library will present the Teen Summer Reading Program from June 5th through July 17th. Teens are invited to explore the city and read this summer by signing up for the Teen Summer Reading Program at participating neighborhood branch libraries throughout the city. Upon registration, Teen Summer Readers will receive a sheet of suggested activities that encourage exploration of the world around them. And along with reading books and completing the activities, Teen Summer Readers will be eligible to win some great prizes at the Teen Summer Reading Grand Finale at the Main Library on Friday, July 23rd at 2 p.m. For more information about the 1999 Teen Summer Reading Program, phone 557-4276 or visit any neighborhood branch library.
And there's plenty of summer reading activities for adults at the library, too. Our ongoing open book series of author readings has presented an inspiring slate of authors, including T.C. Boyle, Elaine Lee, Molly Giles, Guy Johnson, Randall Keenan, Freeman House, Brenda Webster, and others. The June Open Books events kicked off with nationally acclaimed writer Wally Lamb, author of I Know This Much Is True and She's Come Undone. Here's a clip from his June 3rd appearance in the Corrette Auditorium.
Was optional. She was outside looking in when it happened, standing in the geranium bed on a stool so she could reach the parlor windows. Her hair was in pin curls. Her coat pockets were stuffed with paper towels. As she Windexed and wiped the glass, her circular strokes gave the illusion that she was waving in at us. "We better get out there and help," Thomas said. "What if she tells Ray?" "She won't tell," I said. "She never tells." And it was true. However angry we could make our mother, she would never have fed us to the 5'6" sleeping giant who snoozed upstairs weekdays in the spare room, rose to his alarm clock at 3:30 each afternoon, and built submarines at night. Electric boat, third shift. At our house, you tiptoed and whispered during the day and became free each evening at 9:30 when Eddie Banis, Ray's fellow third shifter, pulled into the driveway and honked. I would wait for the sound of that horn, hunger for it. With it came a loosening of limbs, a relaxation in the chest and hands, the ability to breathe deeply again. Some nights, my brother and I celebrated the slamming of Eddie's truck door by jumping in the dark on our mattresses. Freedom from Ray turned our beds into trampolines. "Hey, look," Thomas said, staring with puzzlement at the television. "What?" And then I saw it too, a thin curl of smoke rising from the back of the set. The Howdy Doody show was on, I remember. Clarabelle the clown chasing someone with his seltzer bottle. The picture and sound went dead. Flames whooshed up the parlor wall. I thought the Russians had done it. That Khrushchev had dropped the bomb at last. If the unthinkable ever happened, Ray had lectured us at the dinner table. The submarine base and electric boat were guaranteed targets. We'd feel the jolt 9 miles up the road in Three Rivers, then fires would ignite everywhere, and then, the worst of it, the meltdown. People's hands and legs and faces would melt like cheese. "Duck and cover," I yelled to my brother. Thomas and I fell to the floor in the protective position that the civil defense lady had made us practice at school. There was an explosion over by the television, a confusion of thick black smoke. The room rained glass. The noise and smoke brought Ma, screaming, back inside. Her shoes crunched glass as she ran toward us. She picked up Thomas in her arms and told me to climb onto her back. "But we can't go outside," I shouted. "Fall out." "It's not the bomb," she shouted back. "It's the TV."
And on Thursday, June 10th, Open Books welcomes Dorothy Allison, award-winning author of the emotionally stunning story Bastard Out of Carolina, and of her second book, a sweeping novel of the human spirit, Cave Dweller. On June 22nd, Open Books Alternative Voices is pleased to present writer Suzanne Perry, who has assembled a fascinating look at the lives of Iranian-American women through a panel of 4 authors reading from and discussing their works. Wednesday, June 23rd brings The Endurance, Shackleton's legendary Antarctic expedition, an amazing tale of adventure and Arctic exploration, told by Carolyn Alexander, who will recount this extraordinary journey using slides from the shipwreck itself, taken by early 20th century photographer Frank Hurley. The Open Books programs in the main library's Corrette Auditorium include an author presentation from 6 to 7:15 p.m. with a book signing until 7:45 p.m. On the Page, Off the Page, the San Francisco Public Library's monthly poetry series begins with an open mic segment moderated by the animated and energetic Diamond Dave Whitaker. This month, he'll feature poetry from Poor magazine, with readings by its staff writers, editors, students, and artists. On the Page, Off the Page takes place at 5:30 p.m. in the Corrette Auditorium. The Western Addition Branch Library holds a lively book discussion group on the first Wednesday evening of each month. After a July summer break, the group will be focusing on Dante's Inferno for its August 4th discussion. Drop by the Western Addition Branch Library at 1550 Scott Street at 7:30 p.m. for some book talk. San Francisco Bibliophiles meets for a Russian book discussion group the last Saturday of the month in the main library's Latino-Hispanic Community Meeting Room. Join them from 2 to 4 p.m. on June 26th. Rincón Literario en la Biblioteca Central is a monthly series for Spanish-language bibliophiles. Hosted by Miriam Ruvinskis from Cody's Books, this book discussion group will focus on Balún Canán by Rosario Castellanos at their June 9th meeting in the Latino-Hispanic Community Meeting Room from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Word for Word performs Communist, a short story from Richard Ford's stunning collection Rock Springs. This show, done in their typical style of using every word written by the author, explores the character-revealing crisis of a 16-year-old boy and his family one November in Montana. Word for Word will be in the Corrette Auditorium at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, June 15th. Come join us for these San Francisco Public Library literary events this month.
There are many fascinating exhibitions taking place this summer at the San Francisco Public Library. Our quick tour of some of these exhibitions begins with the photography exhibit After the Storm, the photographs of Bob Walker, on display in the Wallace Stegner Environmental Center and other locations on the main library's 5th floor, now through July 31st. The exhibition of Walker's stunning photos of Bay Area open space landscapes is a celebration of a man who worked hard as an activist and photographer to preserve our Bay Area environment. Walker, who died of AIDS in 1992 at the age of 40, was active in many environmental organizations and served as the president of the Sierra Club's Bay Area chapter. The exhibition of Bob Walker's photographs is co-sponsored by the Gay and Lesbian Sierrans and the Wallace Stegner Environmental Center. The San Francisco Opera presents an exhibition of historical photos and memorabilia from past productions of Richard Wagner's monumental Ring Cycle, on display through the end of June in the Steve Silver Music Center on the 4th floor. The exhibit spans productions of the Ring Cycle from 1932 up to 1990. and is being presented in conjunction with the 1999 San Francisco opera performance of the Ring Cycle Series, to be presented at the War Memorial Opera House June 9th through July 3rd. Moving on now to the Hormel Gay and Lesbian Center on the main library's 3rd floor for a look at the exhibition, The White Night Riots Remembered, running now through July 15th. This exhibition, co-sponsored by the Gay and Lesbian Historical Society of Northern California and the Alice B. Toklas Democratic Club, looks at the events surrounding the White Night Riots, which erupted at City Hall on May 21, 1979, after it was announced that Dan White, assassin of gay supervisor Harvey Milk and liberal mayor George Moscone, would receive the lenient sentence of manslaughter for his despicable acts. Read the headlines and stories of the day as the exhibition looks back on a very somber and significant chapter in San Francisco history. The world's largest and most prestigious traveling exhibition of photojournalism will be presented in the Jewett Gallery on the lower level of the main library, now through July 1st. The Art Commission Gallery, the Office of the Mayor, and the library co-host the first North American stop of the 1999 World Press Photo Award exhibition. The exhibition is also on display at City Hall on the lower level.
And out in the branch libraries, the Eureka Valley Harvey Milk Memorial Branch is showing an exhibit of classic gay images presented in the media from 1938 to the present. On view is groundbreaking coverage of homosexuals in Look, Time, and Newsweek magazines, as well as pieces from a variety of collections, including the James C. Hormel Gay and Lesbian Center at the main library. Items include articles like "Is there a lesbian in your town?" Portrayal of gays in the local media, the media's coverage of AIDS, and a look at pride marches over the years. The Eureka Valley Harvey Milk Memorial Branch Library, located at 16th Street near Market Street, serves San Francisco's Eureka Valley and Castro districts with collections of popular fiction, nonfiction, an abundant magazine collection, and a children's library.
The San Francisco Public Library Book Arts and Special Collections Center celebrates the book arts this summer with 2 great exhibitions and the acquisition and display of a prized Albion hand press. Bookworks 1999, the biennial Pacific Center for the Book Arts exhibition, is now on display in the 6th floor Skylight Gallery at the main library through July 31st. The works of traditional and experimental book artists from throughout the United States are featured in this one-of-a-kind show. Ex Libris. Bookplates are the focus of the Russian bookplate exhibit currently presented in the Rare Book Room at the main library. The bookplates, created by Russian artists for Russian authors, actors, producers, composers, and other book lovers, are from the collection of Svetlana Smelansky, a Russian émigré to San Francisco. Mrs. Smelansky's collection currently includes about 1,000 ex libris. Mrs. Smelansky was forced to leave her beloved collection behind when she immigrated to the United States, but it was later retrieved at some risk by a close friend. In this first public exhibition of bookplates from her collection, Mrs. Smelansky presents a sampling for the enjoyment of visitors to the San Francisco Public Library. The Russian bookplate exhibit runs through the end of July. The Rare Book Room and Special Collections Center of the San Francisco Public Library contains a variety of books and materials about the book arts and the history of printing. The center recently acquired a turn-of-the-century hand press. Asa Peavy, program manager for the Rare Book Room and Special Collections, explains more about this splendid machine.
Well, this is an Albion hand press. It's an all-metal press which replaced the wooden presses which had been in use since the time of Gutenberg up until the very beginning of the 19th century. These particular types of presses, the Albion, came into being in the early 1800s. This one was manufactured in about 1909, so they were making them well into the 20th century. It's a very simple press, very elegant. The way it works is you have your type in the bed of the press here. You put a sheet of paper on the tympan here and lower the frisket. This all folds over onto the type after you've inked it, of course. You crank it up under the platen, which is this part here, take it in all the way and then pull the bar. Now, I'm not doing a full demonstration because it's not completely set up yet, but this would take one person to do the inking and do the printing, and a second person to be putting the paper on and off. So it was a two-person operation. We've had this press for a couple of months now. We're in the process of getting it set up to actually do some printing on. It's part of the Book Arts and Special Collections Center here. For those of you who are interested, you want to come by the center and see what we have. We've got the Robert Grabhorn collection on the history of printing and the book, about 10,000 volumes. And we've got the Harrison collection on calligraphy and lettering, which includes a lot of work on book arts, the history of languages, alphabets, illumination, things like that.
The Book Arts and Special Collections Center of the San Francisco Public Library is located on the 6th floor of the main library and is open to the public Tuesday through Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Fridays 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays noon to 5 p.m. The center is closed on Mondays. For more information, phone 557-4560.
The main library's free Thursday noon video and film showings celebrates Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender Pride Month with Millennium Approaches, Queers in the Arts. The series begins on June 3rd with Paris Was a Woman. On June 10th, join us for Female Closet. June 17th is a doubleheader with Rage and Desire and Zero Budget. The series concludes on June 24th with Pierre and Gilles, Love Stories. All the shows take place at noon on Thursdays in the main library's Corrette Auditorium. For your information, the library system will be closed in observance of Independence Day on Sunday, July 4th and Monday, July 5th. The San Francisco Public Library has scheduled a new series of community meetings in June to discuss open hours. These special hearings will be held at the branch libraries as set forth in the Proposition E Charter Amendment, which was passed by the voters in 1994. In addition, the library hopes to use this process to ask the public for help in development of a new strategic plan. The public hearings will be held in 7 branch libraries and the main library as follows. All hearings will begin at 7 p.m. Additional meetings will be scheduled at other branches in the near future. Thanks for watching at the Public Library here on City Watch Cable Channel 54. You can catch At the Public Library Monday mornings from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. and from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Friday evenings from 8 to 9 p.m. and Saturdays from 12 noon to 1 p.m. See you next time.